There's this idea that has had such a chokehold on me, and it basically just puts all that I've felt for the past year of like trying to become, trying to grow, trying to evolve into like visual imagery. It's pretty simple, but I think it really like puts it to the point. And I just can't let this idea go. I really need to execute it. I really need to bring it to life. And I think this is so much more than me. So, yeah. The thing is I've had this type of feeling, this type of like a foreshadowing feeling about a concept before. And at that time I also felt such a strong urge to execute it. I think it was for Bride of Christ Run the Race. I just felt an urgency to put it out because if I would have waited longer, I would have forgotten about it. I wouldn't have brought it to life the way that I did in the end. And I feel similarly to this idea specifically. So I'm really, really looking forward to what God wants to do with this because I do believe that this is like a transcendent thing and something that is meant to encourage and uplift and also shed light upon the fact that all of us are struggling in some shape, form, in some way or another. And it's important to really acknowledge that and know that you're just not alone with whatever you're going through. And that just boils down to the human condition, honestly. So, yeah. I'm working on my storyboard for the project. I was actually just minding my business, doing my laundry, and then one thing led to another, and now I'm doing the storyboard, or at least continuing to do it. I started out sketching it like analog, and then just like a couple of hours ago, I decided to pull back and look into how storyboards are actually made. And obviously, you can choose between making a storyboard analog or digital. And I'm usually an analog kind of gal, but I also want to be time efficient, and sometimes I get like lost in details and small stuff, so I just decided to like go back to the digital version. I obviously have like a Pinterest board already, but I mean, I when it comes to like actually planning through the scenes, that's where I just wanted a little bit of structure. So I'm working with Milanote, and I also simultaneously have a PDF that I'm working on that kind of sums up all of like the other information about the project, such as like a little mood board, then like an abstract, like the project's description. I was actually going to like do the whole storyboard within the PDF and like include all of the sketches that I would make. I've done a couple of sketches, but I hadn't like gone through all of the scenes. As I said, I want to be more time efficient. And then I have like a list of like the different requisites that we're going to be using, the locations actually. And I also want to do a little lighting chart because I have yet to completely and utterly deeply grasp the concept of light when it comes to photography and moving image, which is kind of sarcastic. And I actually have a date set for one of the shoots that we're going to do, which is going to be in a boxing club. And my friend Promise, shout out Promise, kind of organized the whole thing. He's also been like a huge support with other things concerning the project, and he's like such a big and awesome cheerleader. So really appreciate him. It does make all of the difference when it comes to like the drive for this project and like the eagerness to execute it, because sometimes you'll have something in your heart that you want to do, and it's like this deep desire to like bring it to life, but it feels like you don't really have the energy, you don't have the capacity to do it. It's also kind of what this project is about. It's titled Punching Air, and it's about my efforts, my struggles of the past year specifically, and how sometimes our efforts can feel as if they were in vain, as if we're punching air, as if we are running in place and not getting anywhere. And I do acknowledge the milestones that like God has helped me reach, but there's always something, and I really need to work on that. But I did want to like bring this struggle, this tussle to life, and I do hope that it encourages other people. I think I already said it in one of the clips that comes before. Truly, if it's God's will, it's God's will, because why did He supply all of my needs? Like everything that I was kind of concerned on getting my hands on. I have like the boxing equipment, we have some great locations to shoot at, and also like some add ons that were like nice to have, like a fog machine. What? Shout out to Promise again, because I because the budget was a fat question mark. It actually always is, but nevertheless, it's all been taken care of. So I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm about to take some equipment over to my parents because we're going to be filming the opening scene over there. So yeah, I need to get some soft boxes, um, and the boxing equipment, like a camera and stuff, over there for tomorrow, because tomorrow is day one of shooting Punching Air, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Oh, change me and be so wonderful. Today is day one of filming Punching Air, and tell me why the verse of the day is also the inspiration for this whole project. It's 1 Timothy 6:12, and it says, "Fight the good fight of faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called when you made your good confession in the presence of many witnesses." This is not a coinky dink. So this project is all about fighting the good fight of faith, and about the struggles that feel like they were in vain, but in actuality, they do have their effect. In Jesus' name. Amen. This is my subject, twirl. I look like a gladiator. Is this centered? Ich weiß nicht, ob die politisch oder nicht. Ja. Ist es mir hier also es mir hier so hänge gerade. Yeah, so we're filming in the back room of my parents. This is under construction, but still it's being used. We have the crucifix on the wall. Composition wise, I was thinking we center the crucifix and we have our subject on the floor. In a desperate state, yeah, you'll see. Let me pull out my mood board actually. Headgear. But I'm taking a peek into my storyboard as well as my PDF. She's forcing me to wear this, which she doesn't want to wear. But let me take off these bangles. They're so making noise. You look good. I don't. You look like a real fighter. Oh. Wow, du siehst schon richtig cool aus. Warte. Okay, Uni nicht mehr so krass im Shot, aber ne, okay, so cool aus. So this is what we're working with. We are done with scene 1, shot 1, and we're moving on to scene 6, shot 2, because they kind of like coincide with each other. Still figuring out if this is like the kneeling pose we want to do for like a transitional shot from a church scene to this one, or yeah, what else we're gonna do. So nochmal von unten nach oben. Anyways, it's basically day 2 of shooting Punching Air. We are in a boxing club, as you can see. Period. And we basically already packed up our stuff because we're done for the day. It's a wrap. It was amazing, and I really hope that everything turns out well, but I am very optimistic about that. And I've had a wonderful team. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Including my camera woman, Judith. Anyways, yeah, it's a wrap. I don't know.
I don't like flash like that.
So it's day 3 of shooting punching air. This is our location. We're just gonna take some footage.
This is not a flattering angle.
We're gonna take some footage for scene, I believe it's 3. Nothing wild. Oh my goodness, this is so bright. I didn't even know.
Okay.
We don't care.
Here, don't show my.
Cause I don't care where my baby is.
Putting out some LEDs. Oh.
She can be real cool sometimes.
I need to figure out the camera settings, but I think the lights need to go closer so that she's really in focus. So we'll have her basically standing in the midst of the clocks and like air punching
there.
But I think I'll have to place the lights in between the clocks so that this shot works out. So
okay, so this is what we're working with. This is kind of the shot. We have like the clocks in focus, and then during the clip it focuses on her. This will work like really well. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this actually turns out. 'Tis day 4 of shooting punching air, aka the last day, which is crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're actually going to go to a church and shoot there. So we have like a couple of scenes, and I called there last week and then yesterday and like just confirmed that it would be okay, and it is. So we are going to head over there, shoot our scenes, and then we'll be done, and then it's all post-production, which I've already started. So I've already put in a couple of the clips that I filmed that are like in my close selection into DaVinci Resolve, and have graded them into black and white just to see how they harmonize with each other and how the end result would look best, especially while I'm still filming, to kind of figure out what else would work out basically. I mean, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty cool. I think this is the coolest thing I've done so far. So we're setting up to film. There's nobody here. There was a woman in here, and we didn't want to start instantly filming. But I'm just changing the lens, and then we'll do our adjustments. Ooh,
It's not in focus, but it looks great. Love it. So this is kind of the shot we're working with. I like how it's looking. Yeah, it's like one of the last shots that last shots in the video in itself, and it's the last shot that were taken for the entire project. So yeah. It's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. Yeah. So we're done filming, which is crazy. I don't think it's clicking in my mind because I'm like, I can do this, I can do that, I can do these adjustments. But I'm just peeping the footage, and Lois is going to go change, and then we're gonna leave. Yeah. So it's Thursday the 30th of July. A substantial amount of time has passed, I believe, since the last clip. I've had somewhat of a full day, and now I get to sit down and go back into editing for Punching Air. And I've done a lot of editing over the past couple of weeks, a lot of like bite-sized editing, I would say, just because of work and other things. But the goal is to have this ready by Sunday. So Sunday is posting day. First of all, because obviously I want it out, and I think there is a certain urgency for this project to just really encourage and uplift the people who will see it. And then second of all, I have a couple of things coming up next week, and those things will hit me like a truck if I don't get this done. So there's a photo shoot next weekend, and then during the week, a couple of days of work, and then a couple of days of prep for the photo shoot. And obviously I also want to rest and take like a step back, but I also have other tasks to do as well. So let's get into it. So for a second or two, my hard drive wasn't showing up. I almost pooped my pants. I was shaking in my boots because I do not have a backup for the raw clips, just because they're so huge, and this is like the only external hard drive I have. I also have a Google Drive, so like basically a digital external hard drive, but it would take like days for the clips to upload. I mean, I wanted to get a backup for the backup, which is the hard drive, which sounds so ridiculous, but memory and like storage are literally currency, so I definitely need to do that in the next couple of days. But yeah, my hard drive is alive. My hard drive is alive, and that's like the most important thing. Anyways, we're in DaVinci Resolve. I'm currently just figuring out like what is left to do, like what are little details I want to adjust, and then if I'm done with everything, if the video is solid, then I'm going to move on to adding in captions. I don't know if I'm going to do that in DaVinci Resolve or if I'm just going to pull it into CapCut and do like an auto caption thing, but we'll see. I want to use like a very simple font for that, like just a sans serif. I was thinking of red as a color, but we'll see. This is what we're working with. I've lined up the clips according to the audio that I'm using. I'm going to adjust the church scenes grading because I feel like it's still too soft. So it's the day before posting the project. I've been sticking to my content plan. I just came up with like a week of working on like different aspects of the project and also just other things, and that's really been helping me and keeping me in check. Ooh, my voice is a little, not the vocal fry. I'm not completely done yet. I still need to add in captions into the video because the video is also based on an excerpt of like a song by Andy Mineo. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. It's Forever by Andy Mineo featuring John Keith, and the outro is basically like a sermon that this whole project revolves around. That, and then obviously like the verse in 1 Timothy 6 verses 12. But yeah, I'm wearing my Big Time Rush t-shirt for morale because I only have a couple of hours to edit before I need to head on to work, and then I'll come back in the evening and keep on editing. I watched the video back yesterday in the morning, and I was like, I'm much closer to the finish line than I think. I'm basically done all that is left is the captions, and I think everything else on my mind is just like details and little stuff I'm seeing, and that is like so like prominent to my eye because I've been so immersed in this project. So yeah, we're gonna open DaVinci Resolve once again. One thing I also need to do is kind of check the best export settings for the video. Like, I'm very much looking forward to putting this out and for it to just be done, not for the sake of being done, but for the sake of it being out in the world. I don't know, that's so exciting to me because it is my first video project. And I'm also, when this video comes out, I will have posted a vlog before this. I was also editing that during the past few weeks. I finished yesterday, and that will be going live in a couple of hours. So yeah, I'm just trying to like keep a good overview, which is why coming back to the content plan, that really helps. Because there's like also like just other deliverables around the project that I also want to keep track on. For instance, I want to do a follow-up post with stills. That one will also be out by the time I post this. I have like a TikTok video lined up as well. That's already drafted that I do need to adjust, like some fonts and like just other stuff. And then after that stills post, there's like another post that I'm doing just to sum up the Glory series so far. So this body of work is basically what is kickstarting this concept that I've had on my mind titled the Glory series. And it's basically biblical imagery brought to life and based on different parables and verses in the Bible. And yeah, that's kind of what it's about. And I want to do a post on that one, as I said, to kind of summarize how it's going so far. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Okay. I know I look crazy, but this is real. This is me. I'm almost done with the captions. I just need to make sure that they're synced and that there are no typos. I'm set on the font now and on the color, like on the shade of red. My green juice and I present to you this video's outro plus a short breakdown of the video project. Even though I feel like I went into depth a lot in this video. Did I? I hope I did. Anyways, yeah. Let's just dive right into it. I'm gonna show you the video. I can't show you the project with the audio that I used for the project because, as I already mentioned, this whole body of work was based on a Bible verse, which is 1 Matthew 6:12, as well as a sermon that I found in a song by Andy Mineo feat. John Keith. And I don't want to get copyrighted, so head on over to Instagram to watch the whole video with the audio, all of it. I do think that the visuals and the captions that I inserted to just like kind of tie it all together also like do the project justice, but obviously with the audio, I feel like there's a certain authority and power for just like the intention and the message of the project. Anyways,
There were a lot of firsts for me in this project, so a lot of figuring out, adjusting, re-evaluating certain shots and like perspectives and angles that I had initially planned. I mean, here's my storyboard. And then here is like a short stills overview. These don't include all of the stills, but kind of just the vibe that I intended to encapsulate. And it was a lot of fun, honestly, going back to references, but also seeing like what I would want to execute and specifically like highlight, because it definitely wasn't like a copy and paste of the inspiration that I looked for. It never is, and I don't think it should ever be. But yeah, it's really insightful and interesting to go back to the storyboard and see what actually was birthed out of it, I guess. Because I think something that is also really important is that the initial ideation shouldn't be the end result's twin. I'm just trying to say, like, it's completely fine if what comes out the other end isn't the copy and paste of what you envisioned for it to be. But this project means a lot to me. It's a self-portrait for sure, but at the same time it's supposed to be something that people can find themselves in. And yeah, I said breakdown, but it's not gonna be a breakdown, it's just gonna be a short summary. It's definitely taught me a lot about just going for an idea, even if you feel like you don't have the resources, because you never know what might pop up along the way. Long story short, I hope this video provided some insight into the creative process and encourages you to go after something that you've been wanting to execute. And yeah, I'm not a pro at this whatsoever. I just try to nerd myself into bits and pieces, and there's still so much I don't know, especially with the software that I use with DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is definitely not like CapCut. CapCut is like so Mary's brain friendly, like the whole interface, and you can assume a lot of the functions and how things are gonna work. But I feel like that's not the case with DaVinci Resolve. I did have to do like a lot of digging, and it's a more complicated interface to work with, and my brain is usually all play. I don't know, my juice is all emptied up, so I think this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you so much, and I'll see you in my next one.